Greetings, everyone. And welcome back to Levels I Love, the little show in between shows where I have to detail one specific level I love. This time, Snow Barrel Blast from Donkey Kong Country. You know what I love? Snow levels. I really, really love snow levels. And I always have. Yeah, ever since I started doing the video game thing as a young little lad, snow levels for some reason have always appealed to me, for as long as I can remember. Not just snow levels, but icy levels, cold levels, frozen, crystal, you know, winter levels. It's one of my favorite themes, and it's always stuck out to me among all the other basic conventional level themes you find in typical video games. I mean, spooky levels are cool. I like spooky levels.
What's that noise?
The children of the night.
Lava levels are fun, and forest levels are like some of the best when it comes to immersive atmospheric-iness. But snow levels, they're something else. There's something edgy about snow levels. Something dark, rough, and intense. Especially older snow levels. In a lot of classic retro video games, snow levels often meant serious business. They were often placed near the very end of the game, or somewhere at least over halfway through it. If you reached a snow level, it probably meant you'd been playing the game for a long time, and it probably meant the game was gonna get a lot harder, and a lot colder. But the snow level I want to talk about today, it isn't just edgy. It isn't just harsh, grating, and extreme. No, it's still, and numb, and magical. If there was ever a snow level that felt real to me, that actually made me feel cold, made me feel like I was freezing to death out in the bleak, remote, icy mountains, it would be Snow Barrel Blast from Donkey Kong Country. Yeah, Snow Barrel Blast. That's the name. Poetic, I know. Snow Barrel Blast is the first winter level you encounter in Donkey Kong Country, and it's by far one of the most organic, beautiful, dramatic-looking stages in the game. Everyone knows how gorgeous and crafty the levels in the Donkey Kong Country games are. They were extremely ahead of their time in the graphical department, and the atmosphere present in them was so heavy, so raw, powerful, and absorbing. It was almost like playing an early cinematic platformer, like Oddworld Abe's Odyssey or Heart of Darkness. I think Donkey Kong Country was one of the first games I ever remember playing where I literally felt like I was in the wilderness. Every step of the game. The forests were dense, detailed, and green. The caves were quiet, drippy, and dank. And hell, even the more cartoony, video gamey levels later in the series. They were still engrossing and elaborate. Way more so than most stages you'd find in any action-based platformer back in the day. I love all these levels, equally, and I'll never forget any one of them. But if there's one that's always really stood out to me, one that totally thrills me and gives me chills down my spine every time I play it, it's that icy level, Snow Barrel Blast. First, the level starts out completely silent. It's the only level that really does that, with absolutely no sound or music whatsoever. Well, aside from a low, quiet hum you can barely hear. And birds sometimes going eh. The level feels exactly how a sunny day really would feel high in the mountains, chilly and dead, with absolutely no sound or movement. That is until it changes. First, the sky darkens in the background. And then it begins to snow, the music lightly intensifying more and more as the level starts to get harder and harder. After this, the background's color subtly fades from blue to gray, something you wouldn't even notice unless you were paying attention. And then later, it completely disappears, the snowstorm fully evolving into a thick, violent, stunningly animated blizzard. This is what makes this level amazing to me. I know it might not seem like anything special, and there isn't even that much else to talk about with how short the level is and how quickly it ends, but man does it blow me away. It still blows me away, even after all these years. Back in the day, I'd never seen anything like this before in a platformer. I'd never seen so much effort put into the background of a stage. It's some seriously realistic presentation. And it's not only in the background, but in the foreground as well. Like, look at the snow. Look at the trees. The ground isn't just an icy flat platform to slip around on. It's an actual thick pile of snow, with mountainous rocks and hanging icicles visible beneath it. The trees aren't just trees with snow on them. They don't all look the same. Some of them are tainted with snow, but some of them are completely white, covered with snow. Details. This game is great at details. Oh, and if you're wondering what any of this has to do with Silent Hill Month, it doesn't have anything to do with Silent Hill Month. I should probably get back to Silent Hill Month. Snow is falling out of season. Silent Hill!